Alaska doesn't write gentle endings. One flick of weather, one loose spark, and even a frontier legend can vanish overnight. That brutal uncertainty is what keeps Life Below Zero viewers glued to the screen, and why rumors about cast fatalities spread faster than a January whiteout. Tonight we're separating snow campfire gossip from verified loss, walking through every headline that's led fans to ask, who's really gone in 2025 and who's just off the grid? Rumor versus reality, the 2025 roll call. First, the hard fact. None of the current core LBZ cast members have died as of mid-2025. Sue Aikens is still posting sunrise photos from Kavik. Chip and Agnes Hailstone are bartering fish for fuel on the Kobuk. Jesse Holmes is back on a sled after healing shattered bones. Andy Bassick and Denise are repairing yet another Yukon stove. So why did Rip Sue trend last March? Because Frontier TV operates like a giant VHF. Radio frequencies bleed, stories cross, and tragedies from sister series get miswired into LBZ lore. Gary Muehlberger, the house fire heard round the bush. The first misfire dates to March 2021, when 75-year-old Gary Muehlberger of Port Protection, Alaska, lost his cabin and his life in a flash fire, reportedly sparked by a wood stove and fanned by 40-mile winds. Gary's quiet humor and decades-old fishing wisdom felt so LBZ adjacent that social media eulogies were soon tagging the wrong show. Seasoned viewers could tell the brands apart. Casual browsers just saw Alaska Survivalist and assumed the worst for Sue's camp. The crossover grief is understandable. Gary spent half a century teaching anyone who stopped at his dock how to split kindling and fillet halibut with a single swipe. His absence still echoes every time Port Protection pans across a silent harbor. Litzy Botello, One-Arm Liz, and the fight she kept private. Just 4 months later, Port Protection fans faced a second blow. Litzy Botello, One-Arm Liz, the unstoppable net-setter who navigated raging channels with one arm after a childhood accident, quietly stepped back from filming. Word trickled out that she was battling an aggressive illness, and by July 2021, her skiff sat empty. Litzy's choice to shield her struggle from cameras sparked admiration and, again, confusion. Comment threads mourning her brave spirit often tagged Life Below Zero, feeding algorithms eager for sensational crossover claims. Yet Litzy's legacy remains her grin in sideways sleet, her habit of shouting "fish on" as if every catch were her first. Jim Twedo, the plane crash that fueled false LBZ headlines. Fast forward to June 2023, aviation pioneer Jim Twedo, whose family ran the airline, featured in Flying Wild Alaska, crashed while scouting a makeshift airstrip for caribou hunters. His Cessna barely cleared the takeoff run before banking hard into tundra. Because Twedo's daughters once cameoed on LBZ, clickbait engines instantly stapled his loss to Sue and company. It took a week of clarifying posts from Discovery's social team to untangle the shows. Still, Jim's story hit LBZ fans where it hurts. The knowledge that a single mechanical hiccup can hijack an entire homestead's future. But I heard Sue Aikens was gone, debunking the viral obits. Sue has faced grizzlies, flown remote medevacs, and survived temperatures that sap battery life in minutes, yet she can't outrun Photoshop. Fake memorial graphics pop up every few months, usually after she spends a week offline repairing generators. Each time Sue logs back in, she answers with trademark snark, a selfie in -40, coffee mug steaming, captioned, "Reports of my demise greatly exaggerated." Chip and Agnes endure similar rumors whenever the Kobuk River ice chokes cell signals. Jesse Holmes' 2022 typhoon relief injuries fueled another wave. He quelled it by finishing the 2024 Iditarod with a rebuilt collarbone and the grin of a man who refuses to sit still. Why death rumors stick to Frontier TV? Isolation is a rumor mill's best friend. Cast members can vanish from Instagram for months, not because they're gone, but because satellite Wi-Fi croaked at 40 below. Combine that silence with the genuine hazards audiences witness bear encounters, chainsaw mishaps, boats ping-ponging through ice flows, and every RIP headline feels plausible. Add the blurred boundaries among Alaska-based shows, and suddenly, one tragedy paints the whole genre in shadow. Remembering the real losses, valuing the living. Gary, Litzy, and Jim weren't LBZ cast, yet their stories resonate with the same themes: ingenuity, community, and the thin line between ordinary chores and life-or-death stakes. Honoring them means keeping their lessons alive, checking chimney flues twice, filing flight plans, fishing with gratitude. Meanwhile, Sue's bear-scarred determination, the hailstone's barter economy, Jesse's dog-yard comeback, and Andy's hip rebuild grit remind us that Alaska's harshest tests often become its richest parables. The ice doesn't care, and that's why we watch. Snow will again erase boot prints on Kavik's runway. The Yukon will break up and refreeze. Satellite feeds will flicker. One day the credits will roll for another bush legend, and rumors will turn real. Until then, the cast of Life Below Zero pushes deeper into the wild, proving episode after episode that purpose can outweigh peril. Which tale of resilience strikes you hardest? Drop your thoughts below.